What is up? What is up? Welcome back to the NBA Right Now, brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Spread Astaire, starting a little later than we planned, Tyler. It's been a wild weekend, right? We had the NFL. That was a lot of fun. And then, of course, I'm always watching the NBA. Up early working on that, but I stayed up way too late watching the Australian Open. So my apologies for being late, but we are here and we are ready to give out more winners. Tyler, let's start by talking about the good things. Last week, we started with a 30-1, right? We didn't find one on the show, right? But, I'm doing stuff. I was busy Friday, right? I popped in the Discord and saw that you had another, and it was correlated, right, to a couple of my plays that we had talked about here. So, I had my sheet plays that were just the sides, and then you had made that work. Talk to me about what you're doing to find these 30-1s. What's going on?
I mean, we're just running good right now. It's really good in the NBA. We're finding these double spots. I mean, some of those odds on those doubles in that parlay we had were just insane. I mean, Yurtsevic's playing out of his mind for Miami, and we got plus 250 on that. And the other guys, I mean, we knew Luka was going to double. We just needed them to win that game, and Memphis gassed out, and he ended up triple doubling. So some guys could have had even better value on that parlay.
Yeah, I mean, you might want to start running a lap, right? But when you're running pure, you're ready to run a marathon, right? And hey, a spoiler alert for that NBA, for the NFL show that's coming up. I might be coming to you from the track for all the victory laps that I'm going to take after what we watched yesterday. But let's get into the National Basketball Association. We got quite the day, so we're starting early, right? Because we have a game tipping off here in half hour, 45 minutes. I don't know. They change the official time all the time. This line has moved, so something must have happened while I was taking the quick nap in between the Australian Open
Robert Williams is out.
Starting. Oh, well, I knew that. That's what moved this line 2 points.
It was five. It was 5.5, and then he got ruled out.
It was up to 6.5 at certain points, but that's what I get for getting up too early. New Orleans Pelicans are now plus 4.5 with the Celtics. Total 214. Sometimes we like these unders in these early morning games, Tyler, but I'll tell you what, it's not just a blind bet, right? It's just an angle that I look at. So I figured I'd talk to you because we have a couple minutes before we jump in here. What do you think about this game with the news? And of course, with these earlier ones, I'm going to ask if maybe an under is a possibility.
I looked at this game for like at half an hour to an hour, and I just could not find a spot in this game I like spread. Now, with the Robert Williams news, kind of makes me like Jonas Valanciunas' points plus rebounds, because you got to think Horford's not going to be able to stop him down low, really. And there's no real answer for him down there. So I know he didn't get there for us last game against the Nets, but they also got ran right off the floor. I think they compete a little better here, so I definitely like that here. I think he's going to get us double-digit rebounds. He should get us close to 10 points. So that over 28.5, I like that in this game.
Over 28 for which one?
28.5 for his points plus rebounds.
All right. That's interesting. But no feel for the side, huh? And do you think that under is probably too easy? Do you think it's already set up? First half under would also be an interesting look there. 104 for the first half on a total 214 total. So it seems like the jig is up, right? Because they took 4 points off that. It's not just directly correlated anymore. Any value there, or are we just going to pass on that?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to pass because I think it's one of those things that Boston wins. I think the game could go under because they could play a lot of ISO ball. But again, if they shoot a crazy high percentage, the game could go over. And I think New Orleans wins. The game definitely goes over because they're going to run it up and down the floor.
Yeah. One more thing to point out in this game, and I don't have action on either, though. Pelicans, right? Getting close to what I'm considered to be a little bit undervalued here. My idea is they are 6-6 in their last 12, right? And they started like what 1-12 or 1-13, right? So we had them as one of the worst teams in the league. I don't know if they're there anymore, right? They're getting back to be that 500 team. Brandon Ingram's a very good ball player. So, okay, that'll be fun to watch. Maybe something to look for. Are you going to be around all day? Any chance that you're popping a live play in the Discord for this one?
Yeah, there's a good chance I do.
Yeah, because it'll be the first one. We'll be into it. We'll still be energetic. We'll probably actually be watching it while we're talking some NFL, but that's going to be a lot of fun and a great way to start the day. Next one is the Knicks. The Charlotte Hornets are catching 2. Bing bong, 215 is the total. What are your thoughts on this one?
After the LaMelo Ball news, give me the Knicks and the under here spread. You could do the money line total parlays on FanDuel.
Is he for sure? I see questionable.
I know he's questionable, but non-COVID illness, when these pop up late, they either play and they are not very effective, or they
non-COVID illness has got to be a hangover, right?
Yeah, something like that. So that's not good.
I mean, holiday night in New York.
Yep.
How old is he?
21, if that.
He can go out, right? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, give me the under here. Give me the Knicks to win the game. And they're on they've won the last 3 games they played on Martin Luther King Day too. So, nice little trend there.
Okay, so hold on. I'm putting these in right now. We're taking the Knicks.
Can you get the money line total parlay? I know certain books post those. FanDuel has them, DraftKings has them. Do your offshores have them?
I mean, I can just parlay them.
You would say if you could just parlay them, yeah. That's how I did it.
You're not laying the 2 here?
No,
what are the chances it lands on 1 or 2?
Well, I got plus 210 on them just to win the game and under 217.5, so I was fine with that.
All right, let me see what I would get if I lay the 2. 100. I get plus 270.
Yeah, but I don't hate it.
2 points. I'm doing that, Tyler. I'm doing that. All right. Forgive me while I place these bets because, like I said, Australian Open kept me up. We had some exciting matches, and, of course, my favorite player won, so that always makes me a happy tennis fan. What about a first half under, Tyler? I kind of want to hit this game multiple ways. 110.5 there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that either because especially if he's out there, the first half is going to be where they're going to have to adjust to the new offense without him, and you figure they're going to start slow here. So I like that.
And one thing, and I don't think we have actually a statistic to back it up, but just from the hours of NBA that I watch, I would argue if we did look it up, and we're not going to, guys, because we have an NFL show to do right after this. But I would guess that the pace slows down with LaMelo out, right? He's a really big part of pushing that pace. So, all right, that is our look in that game. Glad that we've already got a look, because I felt bad about not giving the people something to have their lunch to if they're on the East Coast, or maybe their breakfast if they're sleeping light like me on the West Coast. The Philadelphia 76ers are -3 now. So the Washington Wizards have taken points. This is plus 4.5 this morning. Fun to watch these line moves so quickly. We did not get much time on the market here. People say you can't bet the NBA. You can't beat the NBA pregame. You got to bet it live. Well, why are they so afraid of hitting these lines then, right? They'll hang an NFL line like right after the game. They have no idea if who's going to play the next week in some of these cases. They will not hang these NBA lines. So, yeah, just a word to the wise there. Maybe they're telling you something. This market's a little more beatable than people are letting on. It's just very tough. It is a grind. I'm assuming that's because Bradley Beal hasn't been ruled out yet. Maybe Beal plays, and that's why the line moves.
I seen they upgrade him to a game time decision with the COVID protocol. Okay. So
he's worth about 1.5 points. So that's exact. So that's okay. That's completely news move. Then it's not a market move. 1.5. Beal most likely to play. I don't know. This is a tough one. I kind of think the line's a little short, and I kind of want to take Philly here. I mean, we say it every single game, right? Who's going to check Embiid, right?
There's no answer. This is the matchup right here. Remember last week's spread? We talked about getting on him for MVP at 30-1.
Yeah. What is he now?
Well, a KD knee sprain, and now he is 11-1.
I mean, that makes sense, though, right?
Yeah, he's now in the top 4 guys with Jokic, him, Giannis, and Steph. So he keeps putting up 30 a game. They're 2.5 games out of first. His MVP hype could just keep building here, and he could put his name right up there with those top two guys.
I wonder, though, how many people would give it to him over Jokic. I don't think Jokic is getting hurt, man. The guy doesn't jump, so he can't sprain an ankle.
Yeah, but how good is that team going to be? If they're in the play-in game, do you give it to him? I don't think they do.
Great point.
If he has the same stats as Embiid and he's a play-in team and Embiid's a 2 seed, they'll give it to Embiid.
And I'll tell you what, I think Philly's getting reinforcements, right? So, I've been pissed at Morey, and we've been trying not to harp on it too much, right? Because it seems like that's all every normal NBA podcast is. Where's Ben Simmons going to end up, right? But, with the latest news that they're realizing, hey, we're not going to get back what we wanted. Instead of trying to get this top 20 guy, which no one was going to give up for Ben Simmons, we'll say, hey, you take on Tobias Harris, right? And that's kind of their way to, I don't know, save face, but also get rid of a contract that I'm sure Daryl Morey's not happy to have, under a salary cap sheet. With that news, more likely that they make a pickup. And if they do, I mean, they got a max slot just sitting there giving them nothing, right? That moves to anything, right? Especially if they shed Harris too and they bring back all that money. This could be a team really,
This could be a team to reckon with in the East.
Yeah,
keep an eye on them. They make a big trade. We might have to get on them to win the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, right? So, I mean, the teams that we're looking at, Miami, how active are they at the trade deadline? Milwaukee, of course, is going to be good, but I think they're going to stand pat. They don't have much room salary-wise. They don't have many assets. And honestly, I don't really think they have a need. Every time they've been healthy, they've looked like a championship caliber team. KD out 4 to 6 weeks, right? That's going to be rough. I mean, I know Irvin's back, but I don't know. I think KD
only
makes
away
that whole
games
thing
right now. So
yeah, and Harden and Irving, right? Like I mean, they're kind of.
What do you think about that trade Richie Smalls just sent in the chat? I don't think they get both of them, but I think they can get one of them.
I wonder. Here's why I don't think that happens, Richie. I don't think Oklahoma City's ready to win. Because I think Ben Simmons helps you win right away. I don't know. I would be surprised.
Let him just post a bunch of stats that mean nothing because you're still going to lose your games. He has no pressure on him whatsoever to win.
Yeah, but I think Oklahoma City wants another crack at that top three. They were so pissed that they lost out in the lottery last year. They want a top three guy out of this team.
So, like, that could be their guy from the – like, I know you don't get your crack at the top three, but it's like there's your guy you would have drafted in the top three.
As a Kings fan who drafts between 5 and 10 every year, I'd argue that top three picks worth 5 number 7 picks.
Yeah.
So I just don't think they do. Okay, so if OKC's in on this, I think they're the team that absorbs Harris's salary. They take Tobias, right? And there's 3 ways around.
Well, now would you do that 2 for 2 right there?
Which one?
Giddey and SGA for Simmons and Harris. You would probably have to throw someone else in on the OKC side because I know that's going to put them over the cap.
If they do, they're setting Simmons out right away because Simmons doesn't fit into their timeline. Their timeline is to win in like 2024, 2025, right? I mean, they want all these picks to come up. If they do that,
he's
Simmons
locked
right out the
for
door.
5 years, like 2 years, maybe. 2 years of not having any pressure on you, build the chemistry. They work on his jump shot and everything. They're like, get all that other stuff out of your head that happened in the past few years. And then 3 years from now, go for it. The kid's only like 24.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking that they want to go with a bunch of 20-year-olds and have them all be good in 3 to 4 years.
You need a vet, though. That could be your vet.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I really think that OKC's I think they're pissed that they didn't get that top 3 last year, and they're going to get it this year. And we'll see, right? Because they either make a move like this, or they, if they got SGA, I mean, they would be a championship team. You were on Thursday, right? But I think you missed the part where we were talking about it. I'm really high on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So
yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. All right. So we did a lot of trade talk there. Did we get a bet here?
No, I had a few I liked in this game.
I mean, are we just going to the Embiid point prop, right?
You could do that. I like his rebounds over 10.5 here. I think he's just going to maul this front court. They've been giving up like 16 rebounds to centers. Mm-hmm. He's won over that 2 of his last 3. And his last game against Washington, he grabbed 14. So, I mean, Gafford's not keeping him off the boards. Thomas Bryant's not. Montrezl Harrell isn't. So he could just rebound the ball all day against them.
Okay, so let me give you my numbers real quick. I'm on Bookmaker right now. Probably better on Bet Online, but we'll just do this just for sake of conversation. 29.5 for my point total. They've moved it up, but it still is not above 30. I can go for that, right?
Yeah, or you could just take them 30 plus and Philly wins at plus 215.
Well, you can. I can't do that. I can't even combine them on Bookmaker. They won't even let me combine Embiid and Philly to win.
What about Bet Online? Don't they have that like parlay builder or the same game or whatever?
Yeah, I was going to try to avoid bringing them up to have too many windows on that. All right, well, I'm pulling that up. Continue your breakdown. I'm sorry. 10.5 was the rebound count, though. What do you think?
Yeah, 10.5 was the rebound count. And then the other ones I liked where you could do the double-double and win at plus 160, the 30-plus points, and Philly wins at plus 215. Because I think Philly's just going to beat this team. I mean, even if they get Bradley Beal back, they're slowly working him back in, still working the front court guys back in. So this team's just at that spot where same thing with the Warriors. They're just trying to integrate pieces back in. So give me Philly here to win this game and just keep winning. They're just rolling right now.
Okay. I'm going to jump in there. I don't think my number's nearly as good. 30-plus points in Philly to win, plus 167. What did you have there?
215.
Yes, 50 cents off. All right. I'm going to play these two individually. I wonder if they're going to let me parlay on Bet Online. I'm going to try and parlay the points and rebounds. What are you pulling up? All right. Well, I'm not trying to message you guys. I'm just trying to keep my selections, guys. All right, and this isn't great. Yeah, you can't parlay them either. Even I can't even parlay points and rebounds. Makes sense though. I mean, they're correlated.
The Hornets just released their starting lineup, and Ball isn't in it, but he hasn't been rolled out yet. So
he's not playing. If he's
not playing.
I wonder what he was doing last night. I bet you he was having fun, man. I bet you had a lot more fun.
It says Hornets will start Rozier, Martin, Hayward, Bridges, Plumlee.
I mean, I had like a nice steak and watched the game. I mean, I bet you had a way better time than that. All right, let's total of 218.5. Any thoughts there?
I kind of lean over. I could see Philly posting a huge number here, and Washington doesn't play very good defense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like if they get into,
sucks. I like Washington, but all the value's gone.
Yeah, if Philly gets above 120 here, like this game's going over, no doubt, because Washington's going to get into the hundreds. And I think there's a good chance Philly does reach like $115 to 120 points here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, gosh, I love the Wizards and I like to back them, and I thought they're kind of fun and undervalued, but I'm not getting run in front of this Philly train. Team's been playing well. I want to see. Let's get this trade deadline going, man. It should be a little earlier. Let's get these times.
I just hope they move him and make a big move.
Yeah, that'd be really like.
It would suck to watch them just waste another year.
Petty on both sides, but especially on the Philadelphia side, in my mind. But I'm not traveling to Philadelphia anytime soon, so I'm available to say that. Brooklyn Nets are +3 in Cleveland. Cavaliers were -3.5 this morning. The half point of money. That's a market move. I don't see a half point moving off news. LaMarcus Aldridge playing, Kyrie Irving playing, Nico Claxton still questionable. James Johnson out, Rondo out for the Cavs. I mean, I haven't loved his addition so far. Millsap's out as well. Lamar Stevens questionable. Actually, he's a guy that does stuff that does not. He's like the anti.
He's like a Bruce Brown kind of guy. Like he doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but he does a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, like DFS guys are going to pass over his name every time, but I actually think he matters when I'm betting this team. How are you approaching this one, Tyler? I love the Cavaliers here. I don't know.
You're not worried about the superstar subtraction? Isn't this their first game without KD?
That's what I was thinking. So that's what I was getting to.
It's weird
I've been loving the Cavaliers all year.
It's their first game without KD, but then they're also trying to still work Kyrie in these weird situations where like he didn't play last game and now he's going to play this game. So
is it that much different though?
I think it is.
It's just a guy who's
it's a dominant ball handler.
Yeah, but KD was ball dominant too. James Harden's ball dominant. It doesn't change the way they play offense. It's not like they're running some free flowing motion offense and now all of a sudden they got a guy dribbling the ball out. I mean,
yeah, but now he's
all year.
Like you can't play Patty Mills, Kyrie, and James Harden all together if they're going to throw a bigger lineup at you. You know what I mean? Like that's 3 of your better players.
Okay, you're right there. Right there. So they are losing Patty Mills minutes, and I was high on Mills to start the year, but he's kind of regressed as the season's continued, right?
And if there's anything to throw a funk into your shooting stretch when you're shooting hot, is a guy stealing your minutes. So I don't like that either. And
I still like Brooklyn here. And I hate fading the Cavaliers, so I haven't bet it yet.
It's
because
tough. I don't want to pick a side in this game because I also don't think James Harden and Kyrie are going to play any defense on Garland. I think he's going to absolutely eat him up. I got his points prop earlier at 20.5. I love that. He's went over that 3 of his last 4, 8 of his last 11. Like last 2 games.
Which one is this?
Garland over 20.5.
Dude, that dude's so good. And I was thinking about this morning. And I hate to bring this back to the Kings because nobody cares about the Kings except for me.
They could have drafted him, couldn't they have?
Well, regardless, we have Fox and Halliburton, right? And they had Garland and Sexton. And I kind of felt it was the same way. And it's like, cool, they let them run together for a little while. But did you notice with Sexton gone this year, right? Garland has just blossomed, right? I mean, we already knew. Yeah, I mean, but it's just, and now you look and boy, I wish he was healthy because I think that he would have been an attractive target. I think that he ends up being, like a Jamal Crawford, right? That comes off the bench and just gives you like a scoring, like a Lou Williams.
Yeah, I agree with
but
that.
Like
he's
a
just
good
like
one,
that
like a championship
guy.
Level one.
Yep.
Yeah, and the guy that just scores and you're not worried that he doesn't defend and you're not worried that he doesn't get his teammates involved because he's running with your 9th best player, right? So you're not worried about getting Lamar Stevens shots, for example. It's so hard to bet against Cleveland after they've helped me pay so much money extra against my mortgage the first 2 months of the season. But I kind of want the Nets here.
I'm going to stay away from the side. I'm scared of it. I just can't. Like, if you're going to, I think if
we don't want to bet against our guys, right?
Yeah, I don't want to bet against.
There's some loyalty here.
I don't want to bet against them. I just think the matchup's a bad one because the big men for Cleveland are just going to feast today. Like, if I'm going to bet this game spread, I'm going to bet Harden double and win on Brooklyn side, and I'm going to do the same thing with Jared Allen. Okay. Because you figure Harden's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. You just got to – it's basically just get to 10 assists for you. And Brooklyn's and they win the game, that plus 180 should cash. Mm-hmm. And if somehow he gets the double and they lose, there's probably like an 80% chance that Jared Allen has a double on the other side at plus 190 and you still make profit. So that's my
what are their just individual doubles without the
they're gonna be minus something. They are
so they're not worth
minus
it, right?
470 and minus 180.
Okay. Never mind.
So
you have to do the performance double. I'm pulling up mine, but mine never goes to doubles. If I were to try and do the same thing, I don't even have Jared Allen listed. So if I were to try and do it, obviously the assist is probably harder.
Yeah. My favorite look in this game, though, is that Garland points prop. You got to think those two guys, too. They're going to shoulder more of the offensive load. They are not going to be worried about defense today.
Well, I can do it with Garland then. On Bet Online, Garland have 25 plus and Cleveland win 281.
I don't hate that.
Then run it back with Harden to have over 11 plus assists. So it's basically over 10.5 plus 204. I got a nice little arb there.
Yeah, I don't hate that. What did you say you were getting on the 25 plus?
2 plus 286.
That's not bad. I guess plus 360, but we know how.
I know you get way. I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, it's much easier to run a book in Pennsylvania where people can just use their credit card when they're drunk after work, right? To get money on the Bet Online, you have to know about Bitcoin, right? Like they cater to a little bit of sharper clientele, so they can't get away with as much stuff. And as far as I know, they're pretty good about like not limiting people. I know that Bookmaker they won't ban you at all. Bovada, you're gone. Bovada is like, if you have friends at work that like to place parlays, let them do it on your Bovada account if you want to keep that thing open, right? And just take the cash in that regard because they're quick to get rid of you. I haven't heard any bad stories about Bet Online, and Bookmaker's my favorite because I know that no matter what, the worst they'll do is limit me, but their limits aren't really anywhere near where I'm betting. So that works out well for me. Richie Small says Mobley Allen double and Cavs win. Can you do both of them?
I could probably build a same game parlay of that. I'll do it real quick and see.
He says he thinks Cleveland wins with KD out. God's helper thinks Garland's been cold. And he's going back to Sexton here, saying he's in the microwave. So, hey, everybody, while Tyler looks that up, thank you for joining us. Remember, this rundown is brought to you by Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. If you're not a member, head on over to runpurebets.com. Use the promo code BETS25 off to become a member. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends. Tyler, did you find it?
Yeah, if you just do the 10 points, 10 rebounds in the Cleveland money line, it only gets you 6-1. But if you go and look at their stats and tinker with it, like say Jared Allen 15 plus points, and same thing with Mobley, you could get a lot better value on that. I just threw together just the doubles.
Okay, well, we'll let you guys play with that if you have access to FanDuel. If you're like me, hey, you got to choose a side here. I know I do like that Bet Online though, that little ARB, even at only plus 200, right? Because if I didn't know you were getting plus 360, if that didn't exist, go ahead.
Give me that Garland one, the prop there, the over 20.5 points. That's my favorite look.
I mean, if I didn't know you could get plus 360, I would like those numbers. I mean, I should be getting a nice little profit either way. So Kevin Clunan just joined us. Hey, I'm running late today too, Kevin, right? Australian Open. Maybe you're up watching, maybe you're up having fun like LaMelo Ball. Wouldn't that be awesome if LaMelo Ball actually just stayed up too late watching the Australian Open? And that's why he missed today. And I'm thinking he's at this like club getting VIP, and he's really just scouting Sophia Kenin and Madison Keys like I was. Let's move on to the next game. Wow, this line has moved. Chicago Bulls are now catching 8.5. Tyler, when I wrote this up yesterday and sent it in, it was -6 on Bovada. They've cut 2.5.
If I'd have seen that line yesterday spread, I would have hammered it.
I was just sitting there waiting for the open because I thought I was going to sleep in. Yeah.
Like, there's no chance. And Memphis on Martin Luther King Day, like, they're going to blow this team out of the water. They can't defend the paint whatsoever either, Chicago. Ja Morant's going for 30-plus today, spread. Like, he's going to have a big day.
That's how we're going to have to approach this, right? Because, I don't know. So at 8.5, do you still like it? I mean, I'm still not betting Chicago.
They beat them both times last year by 11. And they both played after the trade happened. So I know DeRozan wasn't there, but
yeah, they were kind of different.
You're now
right?
missing. I mean, you're now missing two other pieces.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I still like Memphis 8.5. It just sucks.
Memphis was rolling before they got home off the road trip on tired legs on a back-to-back, and they lost that game to Dallas, which they held tight up until halftime, and then you've seen their legs just give out in the third quarter. So
they had won 11 in a row. Like they're
so they're going to bounce back right here with full energy, and I think they're going to run Chicago right off the floor.
All right. Sean Chambers likes Ayo Dosunmu. I think it's Dosunmu, but I still can't pronounce it.
I was looking at that one also. My only worry here, though, is Memphis is so good against guards on defense.
And they're so good against everyone. They have one of the best.
And it's going to be him and Kobe White. But the thing about him is he's going to get 30-plus minutes at 10.5. Like, he might fall into 11 points playing 30 minutes. Yeah. Couple fouls, you get some free throws, you hit a 3. So I don't hate that prop.
Oh, and guys who are wondering for the DFS content, it's a weird day for DFS because it's not just one slate. So it's just like a bunch of different showdowns. It was really tough to try and have someone come in and get this all done in time. So unfortunately, like, we'd like to give as much to you as we can, before, remember, because we know not everyone can afford it. People are in different places in their lives, especially financially. But today you are going to have to be a member to get all that great information. And if you're not, head on over to runpuresports.com. Use the promo code GETBETS. Tyler, oh gosh, yeah, we got to do that one. You got to do some sort of performance double here to get involved in that Memphis game. That's too bad. That was my favorite look on the overnight lines. I like this one though. Go ahead.
Ja Morant 25-plus points. Memphis wins plus 135.
I'm fine with that.
Bet it because he's gonna dominate this team spread.
You're getting 8 points off, man. And
if you don't like that one, he went 0 for 6.
How could you not like that one? I have it at minus 120. What are you getting it at?
Plus 135.
Yeah, I mean, they're 50 cents off. I still like it at minus 120.
Who's going to cover Jaren Jackson here? Vucevic?
No.
Vucevic, he's going to have to cover Adams, so it's going to be looking at who they played like this. The Lonzo or the lineup they sent out their last game against the Celtics was Ayo, Kobe White, DeRozan, Vucevic, McKinney. None of those guys.
And I didn't have DraftKings pulled up. Let me pull it up because honestly, like, with everyone in and out of the lineup, that's just the best way to see who's actually going to play tonight. So let me go to the Bulls real quick. Here, you break that down because it's taking me a couple minutes to pull this.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, spread. None of those guys are tall enough to guard Jaren Jackson Jr. Like, McKinney's 6'7", DeRozan's about 6'6". Vucevic is the only guy tall enough, and he's got to worry about Adams. Jaren Jackson's 3-point prop I like at 1.5 at plus money. You could bet a performance double with him, 3+ threes, and then win at plus 480. And just like you're talking about in the chat, over 5.5 rebounds. Because the only guy on Chicago's side that's going to give him troubles is going to be Vucevic. So he could fall into some easy boards here. So I like that.
How are they going to approach this? Did Tony Bradley get any minutes? Because you look at their forwards, and this is a bad matchup.
Yeah, it's a terrible matchup.
Troy Brown Jr.?
Troy Brown Jr., I don't think is all that is. I don't think he's tall enough. I'll look up now. He's only 6'6".
I'm looking at the potential people they have to put against him. Wow. This is going to be wild. Very interesting to see how that turns out. I wonder if
Malcolm Hill, 6'6".
Ersan Ilyasova finally gets some minutes.
He might have to.
Yeah, I don't think he's even played this season. What's going on?
Matt Thomas, 6'4". Like, they have nobody unless they send Bradley and Vucevic out on the floor together. And neither of those guys are going to be able to keep up on the perimeter.
What about this one? Sean Chambers just says, should we just take the Jackson boards then?
Yeah, I said I like that one too because he could fall to some easy boards here. Like, if the ball bounces his way and Adams and Vucevic are on the other side of the rim, I mean, he's going to be the only guy that's going to be able to get it. So I like that prop.
All right, I'm putting it in right now, and then we'll talk about the next game. Wow.
You just got to hope those two guys don't just eat up every rebound that comes off their rim because they're going to be under the hoop.
Yeah. That's a good way. That's a good way to approach it because we missed the value on the line. I still like it at 8.5. I don't know. It seems just like you can get back to it. 8.5 is a lot to lay, especially on an early game here. Let's move on to the next
spread.
one.
Wait. He is going to be covered by Vucevic.
And then who's going to be on Adams?
Adams doesn't start. The lineup they sent out their last game, and the lineup they sent out the last few games is Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Brandon Clark, Jaren Jackson, Zaire Williams. With Adams coming off the bench with Kyle Anderson, Tyus Jones, and Conchar. Give me that over 1.5 on his threes at plus money. Because Vucevic ain't going out there to cover him.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that more.
I'm still taking the rebounds, though.
I like the rebounds, too, but like knowing that he's going to be covered. He had grabbed 8 rebounds in that last game against the Mavericks, and he only played 27 minutes. So if he plays 30-plus here, he's definitely good for that. But that over 1.5 threes, I mean, he's going to get a ton of open looks with Vucevic under the hoop and not one to come out to the perimeter.
That's gonna be a fun one. Okay, that's a good way to attack that game. We're gonna have plenty of action today, Tyler. The Indiana Pacers are heading to Los Angeles to take on the Clippers. This is an easy handicap. I'm not betting on the Pacers, so I'll take the Clippers. I mean, it's easy. Pacers lost 9 of their last 10 games. I'm done with this Rick Carlisle stuff. I mean, this team is underachieved. Probably one of the worst teams in the league underachieving, right? Like the Kings at least have a crappy roster. Like, what's their coach going to do? Pacers, I don't think have an excuse. It's rough, taking the Clippers in their current state. Miles Turner's out in this game too. I mean, talk me out of betting the Clippers here, Tyler. Why would I not bet the Clippers?
I mean, if you want action on this game, I'd probably bet the Clippers, but this is what I'm going to do with this game spread. We're going to do the good old Jimmy Butler, ball it up and throw it over the shoulder. I ain't betting this one. We got 12. We got 12.
You get to fade the Pacers,
but I don't trust the Clippers. With this, they're sending out Marcus Morris, Reggie Jackson, Batum, Zubac.
Reggie Jackson, man, he won me over when he dunked on me after I talked crap about him.
Yeah, see, I just can't trust him. Would it surprise you if he went out there and shot 4 for 16? No, it wouldn't
because he wears those weird glasses.
Yeah, he made it a fog up on him during the game. But yeah, I can't trust him. I could see Sabonis just dominating them down low, so I'm staying away from this game altogether.
That's fine. I'm going to take the Clippers here. Bobsky says, I love Sabonis over 12.5 rebounds at minus 120. Clippers giving up the most rebounds per game in the last 15. Sabonis will slide to center with Turner being out. What do you think of that one? I like
that. And I like that. And I mean, if you really want action on this game, he would be the guy I would target. It would be that prop, or it would be his points plus rebounds at 32.5. Because he's going to score a ton under the hoop too.
That's a good point. Gosh, I'm making way too many bets this morning. All right, the Milwaukee Bucks are -5 in Atlanta taking on the Hawks. Two teams really on a bad streak right now. Hawks lost 4 in a row. Bucks lost 3 of their last 4. Bucks, boy, I mean, talk about how important Drew Holiday is. If anyone didn't think he was a star, an all-star, whatever you want to give him credit for, team does not look the same without him, especially on the defensive end. Bogdanovic and Clint Capella are out for the Hawks. I think this line is perfect. Maybe lean towards Atlanta. I don't know, though. I don't trust this Atlanta team, man. They got their sights set on the playoffs. They're not worried about the regular season. What are your thoughts on this one?
Give me the Bucks. I think they blast them. Didn't they knock them out of the playoffs last year too, spread? If I recall that right. Didn't Atlanta knock them out? Or no, Atlanta beat Philly. That was the top seed.
Atlanta beat Philly.
Yeah, the Bucks lost to Milwaukee.
It wasn't even close. It was like at no point did you ever feel like Atlanta had a chance.
I had that mixed up. So looking at this one without Capella, I mean, of course you got to look at Giannis over 11.5 rebounds. Mm-hmm. You got to think they want to bounce back after losing these few games. And just like you said, Atlanta's looking towards the playoffs. They're still dealing with some injuries.
How can they be looking towards the playoffs? They're 17-25.
Yeah, they're on the outside looking. They're legit looking at the playoffs. Yeah. They're on the outside looking in.
Great point.
So Drew Holiday still missing on the Milwaukee side's big, but the two guys missing for the Atlanta side I think are going to affect this game more. Mm-hmm. Giannis is just going to dominate this team. Give me Milwaukee.
You don't think John Collins can stop him?
No.
That was a joke, by the way. I'm not as funny as when I try. I'm funnier when I don't try and be funny. Weird thing like that. Portland Trailblazers -1.5 total, 218.5. How are the Blazers laying 1.5 on the road? Well, they're playing the Magic, the poor Orlando Magic. Well, at least you can say they're committed to the rebuild. Do we even care who's out? Wendell Carter, Etwan Moore, Markel Fultz, Michael Carter Williams. On the Portland side, Cody Zeller, Larry Nance, Norm Powell questionable, CJ McCollum back. Does that even matter? I mean, what's going on here, Tyler? What do we do?
Give me the Blazers. I mean, you just said it. The best player on the floor for the Blazers is back. So there is no Dame walking back on the floor. It'll be Simons and McCollum. Give me the Blazers. They're going to win this game by more than one.
With the way Simon's playing, would you be more encouraged to trade Dame?
Yes, because Dame already is made that, not made it known that he wants out, but he's the bigger contract. Simons is also younger.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's you got to make a move here. And
because
I don't think you're getting enough value out of CJ McCollum either. Maybe you just trade them both and just keep Simons though. Just get what you can out of them and just rebuild.
Oh, that's what I think. You know me, I'm team blow it up. When you're not there, get these guys to contenders, get a bunch of picks, build and develop. And that's just because I like watching young guys to play hard. There's nothing worse than veterans on there that have already made their money just running up and down the floor because it's a job, right? Give me young guys. That is a weird question. I don't know. FanDuel's weird. It's funny when Hoop comes on. He always loves the value on FanDuel. It's but now that I've been doing the tennis scores, I'm back on FanDuel as well. So actually, I got to check that one. I know I did get on my DraftKings. Let me see how my FanDuel lineup did. Let me move on to the Toronto Raptors catching 2.5 against the Miami Heat. Tyler, these lines are moving. This was 4 this morning. Is this news? Kyle Lowry's out. That's the news. That makes sense. Markieff Morris still out after he got pushed by the sloppy Serbian. Gary Trent and Bam Adebayo questionable. How are you approaching this one, Tyler?
I'm waiting spread. I don't see my prop listed that I love to bet in these Miami games that I found recently. This Yurtseven guy, I mean, if they're going to keep posting his points, rebounds, and assists in the low 20s, we just got to keep hammering this line. I mean, the dude's going for 15 plus points, 10 plus boards, and he's getting 4 plus assists, regardless if Jimmy Butler's on the floor. We got to eat this up until Bam gets back.
Bam might play today, though. That's probably
that's why the line's not up then. So, yeah, we might have got our run out of that already. Yeah. So that's the only problem there.
Time to sell high on Yurtseven if he's back. Are we playing a side here?
If I had
for the news here, I mean,
yeah, wait for the news. If Bam's back, give me Toronto, because I think it's going to be slowly working the guy back in. If he's out, I think Miami.
Is he that hard to work back in though? He's not ball dominant like Kyrie.
He's not, but they do a lot of the high screens with him where he has the ball in his hand, so he's a big part of the offense. Okay. You figure they give him the ball at the top of the key, and that Duncan Robinson runs around them for the 3. Jimmy Butler will come around them to set up the offense, and he'll roll sometimes. Yeah. Or sometimes he'll keep the ball and just run the offense himself. So I think it'll be big working him back in.
All right. Let us go on there. Phoenix Suns are now -4. They're about 5 this morning. Spurs took some money, I assume. DeAndre Ayton news. So I've read that he's out, but I'm seeing him questionable here. Cam Johnson questionable. Abdul Nader questionable. Podol's in. Trey Jones still out. Pretty clean injury reports overall. That's actually some good news. I didn't notice that. This thing used to be take up half the RAM on my computer to pull up the injury report. Boy, how do you not like Phoenix here? 16-4 on the road straight up this season, Tyler. This team does not care where they're playing.
Yeah, give me Phoenix here, regardless if Ayton's in or not. If he's out, give me Devin Booker over 5.5 rebounds at even money. He always drives to the hoop and grabs rebounds when he's out. You figure when he's in there, he really doesn't have to worry about it as much. You look at that last little stint he had when Ayton was out, 10 rebounds, 9 rebounds, 7 rebounds, 6 rebounds, 7 rebounds. So, yeah, Jakob Poeltl could eat some rebounds up, but I think Devin Booker could get a 6. So I like that over 5.5 at even money.
All right.
But, yeah, Phoenix is definitely the side in this one. I like that. And then what do you think about the total? I think it's a little bit too high.
I think I'll have a lot more totals right after the All-Star break. So at first I didn't want to touch them. Now everything seems to have returned, right? It's I feel like we're getting more accurate numbers. And I also feel that I don't know if the stat is true. I mean, I listen to so many podcasts and I hate quoting stuff and just saying it's true. But I thought I heard something that over 300 of the players and coaches have already had the Omicron variant. So it just doesn't seem like we're going to get any more outbreaks. And those are the things that I think we're really messing with the totals, right? Because what good does this Philadelphia numbers, right, do without Embiid, or even these Chicago numbers tonight? And now we know this isn't COVID; it's just normal injuries, right? But using it as an example where it's hard to trust your numbers. Totals 227. I didn't really even have a feel for it. What do you think?
I think it's a bit too high. That's just my only thing.
Why? Because Phoenix plays so slow.
Phoenix plays slow. They tend to play a lot of defense. Like, they're not going to give this team many shots. And you even look at their most recent game they played, it was 115, 111. I mean, I know that's close, but that still goes under that number spread.
Yeah. Yeah, with Phoenix, I think it's under or pass in most situations. Spurs, a very high-paced team, way different than they used to play 10 years ago. So for all the people saying...
And then they had another game they played this year, 104, 108.
I mean, I think Pop doesn't mind playing slow. I think they kind of play to their opposition there. Spurs are still pretty young. I don't know if they know how to dictate the tempo. I know that Murray likes to go, go, go. But if it slows down, Pop's not going to be upset. Under 227, I can't argue with you there. This one's fun. Oklahoma City Thunder travel to Dallas. They're catching 12. Mavericks laying 12 at home. Total of 210. Tyler, I got a quick stat for you before I jump this on the throw this over to you. Oklahoma City 14-28 straight up on the year. 28-14 ATS. Right? Because they keep catching 12 and losing by 8.
They're playing a bit better than they did last year, spread. Like, remember last year, it was just like you knew they were dead on arrival when the game started. Mm-hmm. Like, at least this year, like, they're
Shea missed a lot of time, right?
Yeah. And then at the end of the year, I mean, they packed it in, but like, you could just tell, like, every game, it was just like a blowout season. They were just going to get blown out. But this year, they're getting more competitive. I think it's with the rule changes, too. And yeah, I think they are going to end up trading SGA. So that's why I think,
man. I hope so.
I don't think they're as much worried about that top 3 pick as you think.
Yeah, we go back. Well, I mean, they'll be getting the top 3 pick. I'm thinking they trade SGA for. We'll see.
They might trade him. They might trade him during the draft to get that top 3 pick. You never know.
I mean, if you're a team like the Kings and you actually got it, they wouldn't need him. But I understand your point. Yeah. I'm going to jump in there hold on. Richie Smalls, we're doing fake trades all day. That's why we're going over. The NFL show's starting late because we're doing fake trades here. CJ for Jaylen Brown, there's no way the Celtics do that, right?
Yeah, you would have to throw in like Norm Powell and like 4 draft picks to get that done.
It's Dame for Jaylen, and none of those guys even meet it. Jaylen's a stud. How about this one? Bucks money line, Memphis money line, Dallas money line parlay.
I don't hate it. I think the only one I think might get you is the Bucks, because it's like Atlanta might be able to pull something off with the way they shoot threes, but I just don't see it today. I think Giannis is going to dominate them.
Hey, another fun fact, Tyler. If you sort by just 2022 and you don't take any of like October, November, December, Mavericks have the highest defensive rating in the league for 100 possessions. I didn't know that. That could have fooled me. Wow. So, hey, maybe Jason Kidd is doing something right. Better than Rick Carlisle, that's for sure. The Utah Jazz will be our final game of the night.
Oh, we didn't even touch on that game. We went right into trade talks and then just skipped right over it.
What do you mean?
We didn't even give a pick on that one.
On the Thunder? You're right. I'm sorry.
Was there anything?
For the next 2 weeks, guys, if I'm a little airheaded, blame the Australian Open, okay? I mean, it's just fantastic tennis action all night long. Thank you, Tyler, for keeping me online. Chat, you guys can do it as well, if I miss stuff. So what's your pick? I'm taking the points of the Thunder every time.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the last game they played, though, it scares me because they beat them by 19. Mm-hmm. So that covers that spread. But at 209.5, Dallas does tend to play slow. And just like you said, the defensive rating, that game ended 103-84. Give me that under 209.5. And then one of the props I like in this game, Josh Giddey's points, rebounds, and assists over 26.5. The dude fills the stat sheet with rebounds and assists. If he gets us double-digit points here, I think we're golden.
I'll tell you what, I would have liked the under a lot more if the Cowboys had won last night. That town would have been popping.
I mean, I guess so.
I bet you it was dead. I bet you it was dead.
You gotta think most of Oklahoma City's Dallas fans too, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying they would have been out partying. They probably said, "Screw this," and went to bed like I usually do when I lose my bets. All right, but I like the points anyways. So let's say I only wanted to bet one unit on this game because I've already made ridiculous bets. I think you're right. The under's better.
That's my favorite look in this game is the under.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. That sucks. We didn't take them straight up because they would have been a great way to start a 30-1 with a plus 632. But I'm not doing that. Utah Jazz minus 4.5. This was 5.5 this morning. People just like the Lakers. There's no news, right? Mike Conley's doubtful.
Does it matter though? They're deep at guard. Rudy Gobert's back, and that was the big key to this team spread.
It's the key to everything. I mean, the guy's so criminally underrated. Like Jay, remember JSU's gonna hate me.
You pointed it out to me the other night when they played Denver. They can't run this LeBron at the center lineup against teams like this because actual centers he can't guard.
Exactly.
Here we go again. Rudy's on the floor. He ain't gonna be able to stop him. They're gonna have to put an actual center on the floor. Give me Utah here.
Yeah, and don't give me this twice.
You could do Rudy Gobert double and win it even money. You could do Donovan Mitchell 25 plus points plus 130. So just come in this game any way you want. I think they cover the 4.5. And the total I'm staying away from because I think 230 is a bit high.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, dude. You got to run Dwight Howard or DeAndre Jordan out there. That ruins everything.
Yeah.
It ruins everything. I mean,
it's just not going to be good. So give me Utah in this one.
Yeah, I agree. I love the Jazz here. All right, Tyler. We made it through. It looks like we're not going to be too late to do the NFL. So that's wonderful. Might have to throw a little more water on my face. Well, let me get another cup of coffee. All right. But we're not done yet. Hey, guys, if you enjoyed this, remember, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and it's time for Best Bets. Tyler, we gave out so many, but not everyone wants to lay out 10, 15 units on Martin Luther King Day like I'm going to do. Some people just want one or two bets, Tyler, right? They want to keep some bankroll in here for the exciting NFL weekend coming up. So let's give them the best ones. What is our best bet of the day?
For a side, it's going to be the Knicks. And, it's going to be that side / total parlay, the Knicks in the under at plus 210. If you just need a straight up total or spread, it's going to be the under in the Suns game, under 227.5. And then for the prop, give me that Garland over 20.5. I love that number on his points.
Garland over 20.5. I will get that one in right now. All right, my best bet's the Utah Jazz. It's minus 4.5 right now. We talked about the problems. They don't want to go against really big teams. I'm not worried about Conley either. Give me more Mitchell usage. And don't tell me the guy's not fired up because the guy's got some pride, right? And he saw the team be sorry with Rudy out there. So even though he's back, right? I mean, they still want to just get back to where they were. I like him absorbing this usage right here. And boy, this Lakers team, I mean, they miss AD. They miss his defense.
He'll be back soon.
Yeah, I know. And then it sucks for me because I'm a Kings fan. I'm enjoying them being sorry. I'm enjoying making money betting against them, right? We bet against them on, what was that night? Friday or Saturday night with Denver, right? Because I remember I sent you a quick message like, hey, I'm about to bet Denver, right? And you're like, oh, yeah, I love that, right? And I mean, that was one of the most sweat for cashes.
Yeah, that was easy. I think we're going to be sitting in the same boat tonight with them. They're just going to throw them the curveball again. You got to put an actual center on the floor. Screws everything up for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Utah's just going to shoot the lights out from 3. Wouldn't be surprised if they blow them out.
All right. And Penny Payne, new to the show, and obviously not an NBA fan, but she wants to get in, or he wants to get in, excuse me, on the action. Who does Garland play for? He's on the Cleveland Cavaliers, if you want that one. Yeah, Richie Small, quick to answer, too. The chat helps you out if I don't do it. So, chat, thank you very much. All right, we'll see this parlay soon. You might have to post it in the NFL show because I slept late. I'm sorry. Ostapenko was just blasting the ball last night. We're starting the NFL show probably in about 10 minutes. It should have already started. Titletown is nice enough to go ahead and wait a couple minutes for us. We are going to be right on that. So, that way you don't have to just sit on the YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. You'll be notified when it goes live. Tyler, any more NBA wisdom before we switch clothes into the NFL show?
No, I mean, just keep an eye on the Discord and keep an eye on the Twitter. I'll probably give out a couple parlays, fun ones, see if we can hit another 30-1 or something. So, and any live bets will be in the Discord. So just keep an eye on that.
Live bets in the Discord, and we are going to have a great day. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll be back to our normal time tomorrow with Mr. Travis Mangone, so we expect to have a lot of fun there. We always have fun when Travis comes on the show, and more importantly, we give out the winners. Penny's going to tail Tyler on the over Booker boards. Appreciate it. We appreciate you watching, Penny. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will be here. Oh, one last question. We got a bet for the solo NFL game tonight. Tune in 10 minutes, Richie. We're just switching out. We're switching over, and we'll give you that play. Run.